It's the way to go. Eat a fig, not a pig, let your kindness show. If it's your wig or a jig or a swig, do you dig? Big. It's the way to go. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's that. And here's our show. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Got that vegan glow, like a drag queen calling Patrick Goudreau. I'm a YouTube vegan cooking up good eating. Veganism makes me glow. It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
All right, vegans, all together now. When something's fat, there's a lot to show. It's gotta be fat to help the movement grow. Making fat loud chat that won't be flat. It's that.
It's the way to go.
It's Big Fat Vegan Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Fat Vegan Radio. We're podcasting from East Coast to West Coast to discuss veganism in all of its glory. I'm here with Ben Strothman, otherwise known as Honey LaBronx, everyone's favorite vegan drag queen.
And I'm here with Laura Yaz, vegan writer and entertainment know-it-all.
You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube by searching for Big Fat Vegan Radio.
And you can follow along with our show notes at bigfatveganradio.com.
We have got a very special show for you today.
That's right. We have our summer fundraising episode. Woo!
Actually,
Woo!
I believe it's our first fundraiser.
Give us money.
2014.
Is it really?
I know, we really haven't done a fundraising episode in quite a while.
We intended to do one in like March, and then we've
intended
we'll
twice, I think,
April.
to do a fundraising episode, and just got really delayed.
I dare say thrice.
I dare say thrice. I also feel I
time...
need to apologize to the listeners and be like, I'm so sorry that we had such a lack of content this month, and then the first episode we're like, give us money.
Give us money. Well, just to illustrate the point that we need like operating funds to be able to continue to prioritize our show.
We're dragging.
I hate saying that. No, I know that for me, it's not been like a lack of funds exactly. Well, I don't want to say that because now no one's going to give us money. It is a lack of funds.
It's always a lack of funds.
From each year, from March until roughly about this time, is just a really busy time. Like, I know that around the time of the New York City Vegetarian Food Festival, that's like our busiest time of year. Just like what we lose with you traveling.
Well, and we're sort of recreating that because I'm coming in New York in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's happening again. But also Ben put up his own one-man show, everybody. That was...
Yay!
So he was very busy doing that. Aww. And I also... I mean, whatever, it's excuses. But I did have 2 interviews lined up. They both got canceled for, totally uncontrollable reasons. And so I'm really sorry. I did really did intend to have content up for you. It just did not work out. It was a rough patch.
I am just going to jump in and interrupt both of us because there are a few things we forgot to mention in the recording of this episode. First and foremost, you've been asking, and we finally have Big Fat Vegan Radio t-shirts! Woo! We have t-shirts! We have t-shirts, you guys. T-shirts. They're green, and they say Big Fat Vegan Radio on it and have a cartoon of me and Laura. So if you go to bigfatveganradio.com and click on merch, that's short for merchandise, you will see you can click right there and buy several different size t-shirts. They are $25 a pop plus shipping, and very limited quantities. This is not the official merchandise store yet. This is just our first sort of order of shirts. So we have a limited number of them. So you want to be the first of your friends to jump right in and buy t-shirts. Also, I would love to just quickly give an advance shout out to our 3 sponsors this episode: theveganwoman.com, Compassion Co., and as always, Beyond Meat is back with another offer. So any donations of any size between now and September 15th, you will automatically get discount codes for all 3 of those vendors. So think about it. Even if you donate $1, you're getting coupons worth more than $1 off your purchases. So it really, really pays to donate to Big Fat Vegan Radio between now and September 15th. And lastly, one more thing that a lot of you guys have been asking about, posters. We got posters now. Not like posters you can buy and put up in your room like you're a crazy teenager, but we now have posters that you can download from our website and print, and then you can go and photocopy them or print them and put them up at your office, put them up in your local coffee shop, anywhere where, you know, hippies and vegans and lesbians congregate. Go ahead and help us spread the word about Big Fat Vegan Radio. Just go to our website and click on Support Us, and then right at the top of the page you will see right there some PDFs for printing or a JPEG for sharing online. It's a pretty cool poster. You're welcome. And now you can help us spread the word. And now back to the episode.
And the last, as people might remember from my cliffhanger on our early June episode, wow, before it was even technically summer, I was going through this apartment debacle where I think I mentioned this in the last episode. I was randomly selected out of 30,000 applicants for the New York City Affordable Housing Lottery, which my family keeps telling me, like, don't tell anyone that you got the Affordable Housing Lottery. Like, as if everyone's going to
share the hope. Share the hope.
That's exactly how I look at it. Yeah. Thank you.
Share the hope.
People are like, oh, everyone's going to resent you for having an affordable apartment. I'm on it like, no. And here's the other thing people tell me not to say. I've never applied before. This was the first time and the only time I've applied.
Wow.
And I was picked. And not only was I picked, but I got it.
Yeah, well, I've also, when I first moved to New York, there were all these things people told me not to tell people. Like, yeah. I don't know. And I was like, I just never listened to that. I'm like, I'm not worried what people think about me. I'm not worried.
To tell people what?
If someone's going to judge me because I said, you know, like, I think at that point my mom was really upset at the idea of me living in Brooklyn. And so my parents were helping me out with money so I would live in Manhattan. This is when I very first moved to New York. And somebody was like, don't tell anybody that. I was like, what? Don't tell them that my parents are sending me some money so I can live in what they think is a better neighborhood?
You with that Upper East Side apartment that you had?
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like...
Well, yeah, I mean, I want people to know that there's hope, you know, and I want people to know, if you live in New York City, by the way, Google NYC Affordable Housing Lottery. I wanted to tell Michael Herron that he should do that, by the way. I don't know what he makes and if he qualified, but...
Well, he's got a great place, though, I think. He's really good with his...
He does, but I know that, like, deep down, he kind of wants to live in Manhattan, like, in the Village somewhere, but... you know, it's, you know, when they say affordable housing, I mean, the building that I'm in also has people in between, like you could also make like 70 to 100,000 a year.
Oh yeah, there's a whole spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in the Village because I don't want to bump my head on all my door jams.
Yeah, good point.
Those apartments are so small.
Yeah.
And I don't mean small like there's no space, because that's every apartment in New York. I mean small like they were built for smaller humans.
Right, way back when.
You can't even get like a queen-sized bed in one of the bedrooms. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
My building where I currently live, we ordered, well, they had to send us a new fridge, and it wouldn't fit through the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why don't you chip away at some of this gosh darn door jamb? Because it's so obviously ornamental and not, like, you know, required. So I wanted to be like Joan Crawford, like, tear down that... What did she say? I think she said B word of a load-bearing wall and put a window where a window ought to be. And it's like, Miss Crawford, clearly you don't understand what load-bearing means. We need that wall there, and then whatever. But yeah, so there are, you know, I just want people to know, I mean, if you live in New York City, Google NYC Affordable Housing Lottery, like, every couple of weeks, and just stay on top of it.
Yeah, if you're the kind of person that can really fill out forms and follow through, you know, I mean, I have another friend in New York I have two friends in New York who live in a similar situation, and it's very real, especially the sooner you apply, the younger you apply, or whatever this is, just apply as soon as you move to New York, and just keep keep applying, I mean, it just ups your chances.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew a girl who grew up in New York City, born and raised, and she had one. She was like 22 or 23, and she had one. And she said, well, my mom had me start filling out the forms when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, absolutely, you have to.
Her mom was like, this is it. This is how you're going to get a place. So, yeah, she had like a 1-bedroom, like, in the East Village for $750 or something.
Oh, I don't want to hear 1-bedroom right now.
Oh, honey.
I kind of feel like I'm on Orange Is the New Black and I got thrown in the shoe. They're like, well, this is your new apartment.
You are not allowed to complain.
They put me in
I
my new. They showed me the new apartment. They showed me the new apartment. They showed me the new apartment, and I was like, Mr. Healy!
Yeah. Look, stop it. Okay.
No, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
And
it's gorgeous.
I get it. I get it.
Small.
But there's nothing wrong with this studio.
It's gorgeous. It's small. Well, I mean, when I say it's a studio, mind you, it's not a box-shaped. I mean, it's not an L-shaped studio like my old one. It's not an alcove studio. It's a box.
I know.
But I think I can be very creative with the space. Also, there is, just giving a random shout out. There is a company I found online. I actually found, you know how I don't like to read. I found them on YouTube. Every piece of furniture they have, there's a YouTube video. No talking.
Oh, that's
it's
pretty
just
handy.
like, it's just some some little lounge music in the background and some gorgeous woman just kind of blasé walking through her home, sitting down in a chair. Then she stands up and kind of flips the top of the chair over, and oh look, the chair turns into a step stool with 4 steps on it, like seamlessly. But then you go to the store and it's like, yeah, well, that chair cost $2,000. Or I think it cost it cost $800. But they have like a Murphy bed that like starts as a bookshelf. The bookshelf has like a little shelf that comes out of it and turns into a full desk. And then you fold that up, and with one finger, you pull the bookshelf out from the wall. It spins around, goes back into the wall, and a queen-size bed drops down. And the bookshelf stays in place. So I went to their showroom, and like that Murphy bed, it ranges from $8,000 to $13,000. But I'm obsessed, and I'm going to find a way to furnish my home.
I think a Murphy bed is a really great idea. Look, you might not be able to afford it right away, but if you can get yourself to a point where if you can save up for it or whatever, or even maybe do some kind of payment plan.
They don't do payment plans, but I, honest to God, am thinking about, once my credit is better, taking out a loan to furnish my apartment.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad idea just because you really are going to live there like for a long time.
Yes.
Why would you move? You're going to
I intend to die in this apartment.
Yeah, I can't even really imagine any reason you would leave the apartment. So, I would just say that it's
to
really
go to the
worth
store
it to make it
or
an
to go
ideal
visit
place for
friends.
yourself. And I think a Murphy bed is a great idea for a studio to make the most of it.
Laura as well, you just look up Resource Furniture online.
Okay.
They have this dining room table that expands, expanding table. While I'm talking about this, I'm just going to quickly make Laura watch a quick little video. It's 20 seconds long, so don't complain.
What? Right now?
Yeah, while we're talking about it. I can literally talk about it while I'm Skype texting you a link to the table. Mm-hmm. Watch this table with me.
Oh my God.
This table...
You guys are having to watch a video about a table right now.
Oh my God, this isn't just about a table.
I'm watching it. Hush.
Look at this thing.
I don't like the way it looks, though.
Stop it.
I don't. It's not my taste. Come on.
You can choose any kind of a finish that you want. It doesn't have to be all white. Look at that. See that tiny little table that's like just big enough to put in front of a window and put a laptop. It's just big enough to sit in front of a laptop and like sit in front of a window and put your laptop on it.
That's impressive. That's a lot of leaves.
Oh, you mean I have company coming over? Let's just expand this, and now it seats 10 people for dinner. But that table is $5,000.
Well, it's very impressively constructed.
Very impressively. There was a YouTube video I found where this one guy, his entire apartment was a studio, a little bigger than mine, and everything in the apartment was from Resource Furniture, and including he had custom built this movable wall in the middle. Anyway, I'm done.
No, well, you know what? So anyway, whatever. Everybody, just let's have a congratulations to Ben for getting his dream apartment. Well, maybe not dream apartment, but getting a great, great situation.
I'm gonna burrow through the wall. There's a wall between me and I only share a wall with one neighbor. But I'm just gonna kind of like just start tapping on the wall and just start chipping away at the drywall, so that it's slow and gradual, so they don't notice it all at once. And then I'll just be like, "Yeah, this is my bedroom. I'm
This
putting
wall
a door
came down.
here."
I'm
As long as
what
it's
happened.
down. Do you mind if I put up a beaded curtain and call this my bedroom? Thank you. We'll work on a schedule so that we won't be home at the same time. Seriously, get out. Get out. So there is that. So yeah, but literally the last 4 months of my life, from early August until now, everything in my life has been about get this apartment, get this apartment, get this apartment. And I can't even, it's not like I got on the list and then sat back and was handed this apartment. I will one day tell the story of what I went through, but as I mentioned in the last episode, it involved raising $12,000 to pay off some taxes. I have to tell this story quickly. One of the reasons I was denied the apartment is because I had over $1,000 in delinquencies on my credit report. I know I shouldn't be putting that out there, but whatever.
You're human. It's okay.
And because I had that on my credit report, it really hurt my credit score. So they also denied me for my credit score. So I had 2 weeks to appeal the rejection. A week and a half went by where I just sat around thinking, well, this is impossible, this is impossible, this is impossible. And thanks to the 6 months of life coaching curriculum I have just been through, I caught myself, I'm like, wait a minute, what's impossible? Nothing's impossible. $12,000 isn't impossible. And on a Wednesday, I woke up, I made a Facebook video, saying what I needed, I posted it, and on Friday, I had paid off $12,200 in New York State taxes. And I wrote my letter of appeal saying, well, yes, I had a debt to the state, but I've paid it off. That is the reason that my credit score was as low as it was. So now that you can see that it's paid off, maybe it helps you understand at least why my credit score is a little bit lower than it should be. And in time that will fix itself. Well, here's the thing. A tax warrant on your credit report hurts your credit score just as much if it's unpaid as it does if it's completely paid in full. It doesn't make one bit of difference on your actual credit score. However, I asked the state of New York, I'm like, well, can you just take this off of my credit report? I don't know if I told you this part of the story. I said, I don't know if you, I said, can you take this off my credit report now that I paid it in full? They're like, we don't do that. That
yeah,
doesn't
it takes
happen.
time. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take time. It doesn't come off. I would have to wait 7 to 10 years for it to drop off my record. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, but I paid it in full. Like I could have offered a payment plan or I could have offered a settle. And they're like, well, first off, New York State, you can't settle and you can't do you can do a payment plan, but we don't settle for less than the full amount with penalty and interest. They just don't accept. You can't negotiate with New York State when it comes to a tax debt. You can't even say, well, I paid the principal, just forgive the fees and the interest. So they said, look, what you're asking about would be called a warrant vacate, which means we just strike it from your record. But they said, we only do that if the warrant was actually filed in error, like if it was a mistake on our part.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered my training from January to July, and I'm like, but it was a mistake on your part. And they're like, I'm listening. And I'm like, yeah, you charged me for rights that I didn't have. I said, for 2000, I'm ashamed to say, but I owed them for 2012, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7, and 6. 2006 through 2012, I had filed all at once. And I said, look, for almost all of those years, I did not have the right to marry. The Constitution says no taxation without representation. You literally charged me, and I literally paid every cent for rights I never had. Now, this had a real impact on my life. I went to jail fighting for my right to get married, and I paid for years that I didn't have those rights. Never mind the psychological implications on a person knowing that they're not an equal citizen with, with equality. And I said, and now this is going to stay on my record for the next 7 to 10 years. And I said, I was just denied for an apartment because of the impact this has had on my credit. And I'm like, the least you can do is give me reparations and take this off of my credit report, so this doesn't have to further interfere with my life. And I could hear her rolling her eyes, and she basically was like, look, I would have to call my boss and have my boss call their boss and call their boss and call their boss, because this came down from a very high office, because they'd been after me for a while. And I was like, fine, I will hold while you make those phone calls. She puts me on hold for a few minutes. I'm expecting her to come back and say, all right, I'm putting you on the phone with so-and-so. Or I'm expecting her to come back on the phone and say, yeah, they won't do it. And then I would have at least patted myself on the back and said, I tried. And when I lost the apartment, I would have at least said, yeah, I lost it, but I put up a good fight. She comes back and she says, all right, we'll take it off your record.
Wow.
They struck it from my record. And the next morning, they faxed me three documents showing that it's off my record. And then that same morning, because I told the property management people, hey, hold the phones, I've just done this and this and this and this. I took 4 actions, all just as bold, to get my credit score cleaned up. And the property management, their final word was, look, this is all very impressive. Your credit score is still just not where we want it to be. So we cannot offer you a 1-bedroom at this time, but we'll just give you a studio.
That's so great, though.
And here's how I was. I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
and I went,
ungrateful little.
I know. I went from like, please, I need this apartment. Please, I want this apartment, to like, oh, it's a studio.
Oh my God. I guess I'll just stay here. I don't need.
But honestly, if I am able to furnish it from Resource Furniture with all this gorgeous stuff they have, like, it doesn't matter what.
Yeah,
size
I mean,
my
look, you'll build
apartment
it
is.
into a home. It'll take time, but you'll get it
So,
right. And you
yeah,
really
I'm
do
excited.
need to stop being so ungrateful, because it's infuriating.
I know. You know, that same night, not that same night, but like a few nights after I saw the apartment, I went on Netflix and I watched this documentary about people who text and drive, and like a kid who is now a paraplegic because someone hit him. This guy who like knocked out an Amish horse and buggy and killed a family of 3. And like the family totally forgave him, by the way, and like they send him letters like, we hope you're okay, and blah blah blah. And it just kills this man. He's just like bawling over it. And I watched stuff like that. I watched this documentary called It's a Girl, talks about gendercide and like how the practice of killing female infants is alive and well in China and India. And I was like watching this stuff and I'm like, oh my God, where is my gratitude? Where is my gratitude?
Yeah.
So, and you know, I talked to my roommate, my soon-to-be ex-roommate.
Yeah. You guys are going to miss each other.
We're going to miss each other so much. And
Well, I'm moving too, and I got roommates I'm going to miss too.
Yeah, my story is a little better, so I'm going to finish it. But I was asking my roommate, I'm like, Caldwell, how do you do it? I'm like, I am so caught up right now in, oh, it's only a studio. But if what I kept getting caught up in was the trap of like, yeah, but if I could just have a 1-bedroom, and I'm like, and Caldwell, I can't get out of that. I mean, I can't stop saying that, and I'm not getting it. I'm like, how do you do it? He's like, well, not to seem harsh, Ben, but he's like, this is a gratitude issue, and he's like, you're really just ungrateful. And he's like, Ben, you already have things that so many people will just never have. And I don't mean like so-and-so lives in New York with a roommate in a borough for $1,000 a month. I mean people who don't have running water, people who don't have living families, people who don't have freedom, people who don't have limbs. And I'm complaining because I won't have an extra room to put a bed in and close a door.
Check yourself. Also, not to mention, you're going to be living in Manhattan, in New York City, for
At
a price
44th
that
and
most
10th.
people spend 20 years trying to get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get over it.
I know. I'm very. I feel like I finally got to a point where I was able to work through. But that wasn't just about this apartment. That was like an exercise in an exercise EXOR size in my being an ungrateful little snot. Because I am an ungrateful little snot. By the way, this is a fundraising episode, so give us your money. But I had an opportunity to work right through that, and I'm really grateful that I did.
All right. Well, you still sound a little ungrateful to me.
Well, I'll continue working through that in my rent stabilized.
All right. I just have to
affordable
say right now, I don't know if you
apartments.
can hear it. Apparently there is a nightclub outside. There is do you hear the music?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh my God. It's like someone's blasting like a dance mix right now.
I hear absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, I'm
This is
sorry,
about-
listeners, if you can hear that, if it sounds like I'm in a gay club, because apparently I am.
Well, between that and my lisping, I think. I don't lisp.
You really don't.
I really don't.
Well, I'm glad we spent the
So-
whole time talking about your life.
We got through. Yeah, I'm glad too. Thank you. I'm
Ugh.
glad that we share that. So I'm glad that we got through the intro. What is this thing after the intro? There's like a whole script or something?
Yeah, we have an episode. It's called an episode of this show that we do. Sorry,
We are
is that new for you?
23 minutes in.
We're how many minutes in? How long have you been talking?
23.
I'm like checked out even.
Well, we're 23 minutes in, so I'm probably been talking for 22 and a half minutes.
God.
People love me. They love listening to me ramble, right?
You know, Ben, I gotta say, if anybody loves you, it's me.
Okay.
And
Wait, back up. What do you mean if anybody loves me? What? The syntax there
I
is
just think
troublesome.
me and your mom are probably really high up on the list of people who love Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm checking out,
Mm-hmm.
people are checking out.
If you're checking out...
No,
people
that's
are-
not true because I
Hey!
check out so easy.
No, that was a gripping story.
Well, I knew it. That's why I was checked out.
That was a gripping
It's
story.
because I knew it. I knew the
You
story.
gotta give the people hope. Go get you...
You know what?
an
It's
affordable
true. And you guys,
apartment.
it's just like, I mean, I'm totally flabbergasted that Ben got the apartment, but I have to say, and there's some things I should congratulate you on for about it. You were incredibly honest with all the people, telling them stuff that, you know, I know you didn't want to write down in letters and send to people, but you did it because you knew that rigorous honesty was the way to get through it. And you also just showed up and did whatever it took. You were willing to go to any lengths, and it all worked out. And you got the place. I mean, it's like a miracle.
Well, most importantly, you will never have to spend money on a hotel ever again. When you
That
come to
is
visit
my
New York
favorite
City.
part about it. Not gonna lie, everybody.
Ever
Not gonna lie.
Again, you will only have to pay a small stipend to me, which, face it, it will be like peanuts compared
It will be
to...
baking, is what I will do.
Oh.
Really, you
All
don't
right.
want? You want more?
Oh, you can
You want
bake,
actual
it's fine, it's
cash?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not
Oh, are
giving you
off-
actual cash.
Oh, that sounded like an offer.
Nope.
That sounded like a binding agreement, actually.
Although, you know what? I do sort of love that I'm staying in a hotel for this trip because I'm gonna jack up that AC and just the whole place is gonna
Oh,
be
nice.
conditioned. Because when you stay at somebody's place in New York City
Mm-hmm.
in the summer, if you're not in the room where they have their AC unit, I mean, you might
Well,
as well
A,
not sleep at all. Just walk
you can
around the city at
be-
night.
You can be in any room of my apartment, and you're in the room with the AC.
Oh, you have central air?
I do. Well, I mean, it's not just that; it's also one room. But I do have a little. It's like one of those boxes that's built into the wall, and I don't mean like a little underneath the window box that you can put an AC in.
I get what you're
Like,
saying. Yeah, a unit.
It's a big hotel-sized heating and cooling thing. So, yeah, I'm pretty snazzy. So, how do we do this? You want to talk about who our beneficiary is?
Yes, I would love to. This is my
Yay!
choice. I guess I could share a little story, although I feel like you're probably storied out, listeners.
They're bend out. They're not lowered out yet.
Oh, it's true. So month's beneficiary, and as everyone knows, whenever we do a fundraiser, we give 10% to a sanctuary or a rescue of our choice. We love suggestions for that, so please send them our way. We try to focus on the smaller organizations, although we have given to a few big ones, but I am purposefully trying to avoid the biggest names because I feel like they get donations. I know that's terrible, but you know, I mean, there's like just
those animals are pampered.
They're not pampered, but I'm just saying that, trust me, they need the money too. But I'm just saying there's certain sanctuaries that I hear, I feel like is on every fundraising name, and I just don't want to be giving, you know, I want to find the smaller places. So this rescue is, I don't really remember if I mentioned it on the show or not, but I know Ben knows about it. The twins' mom got some mice for the twins a while back.
That's right.
You remember this? 3 mice, and she bought them from a store. And I didn't know anything about mice, and I so started learning about mice because we had them, and they're actually really delightful pets. Although people recommend you have females because males tend to be really smelly to have in your home. But you know, I thought they were great. I was really attached to them. I really loved them. And what happened was one of them started to act a little weird, and I became suspicious that she was pregnant. So I started doing some research, and I realized that she was pregnant, definitely pregnant, and that she was going to give birth in like 3 days. So I was really panicking about it because, you know, I'm not like ready to be breeding mice, you know what I mean? Or like to be raising I was really panicking. So I was doing all this research and blah, 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 blah. And so what happened was in all my research, I discovered the North Star Rescue, which is a small animal rescue here in the Bay Area. And I started emailing with one of the women there. And I just have to say that they were incredible. I emailed them like in the afternoon. They got back to me in like 2 hours, and they were so helpful. And just, they're obviously very dedicated. And I know it's mostly volunteers that are working with this rescue. So I just was so grateful for all the help they provided me when I was in this panicked state and I didn't know what to do for these sweet animals' lives. And I was just really touched and really impressed with the way they helped with everything. And they even do little adoption events right down the street here in my town. They have they're regularly at a pet supply store with small companion animals. So I'm just going to read you their little about from their website. North Star Rescue is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in the San Francisco Bay Area dedicated to the welfare of small companion animals. We are the only rescue organization in the San Francisco Bay Area specifically dedicated to all species of pet rodents and rabbits. North Star Rescue provides a variety of services to help small companion animals, including rescue and foster services for California shelters, public adoptions of small animals, behavioral advice, educational events, and more. Unlike a traditional shelter, North Star Rescue has no central location. We are a network of foster homes run by dedicated volunteers who have united under the common goal of keeping small animals from being euthanized when they have nowhere else to go. So, very touching, and they're great. And I just feel like, you know, the gerbils and the mice and all those cute little hamsters, they sort of get forgotten about sometimes. So I thought it would be really nice to send them some help and thank them for all they do and everything they did for me. So check them out. And if you guys are in the Bay and you want to get yourself a guinea pig, they are your people.
Oh, I miss my old childhood guinea pig. Her name was Roberta.
Yeah, my girlfriend has 2 guinea pigs right now. I'm totally jealous. They're so cute.
Roberta
and she makes them padding. Instead of buying the padding, she makes it like on the sewing machine.
Padding?
Or like for their cage?
Padding?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some I don't know. I've never had guinea pigs, but it's something that you're supposed to change frequently.
Oh, we just had like wood chips.
Well, she has these like felt pads that she makes. It's so cute. Yeah, it's so cute.
We had a guinea pig named Roberta, and I was
it's a great name.
Devastated when she died. It's a great name, but not for a guinea pig. It's more of a name for someone's mistress.
I like the name for a guinea pig. I would love a guinea pig named Roberta.
I'll tell you, if I ever get a guinea pig again, I would name her Roberta. You know, this is a pet-friendly building I'm moving into, just to bring everything back to me in the apartment. And I've always wanted a cat or a dog, or...
Are you allergic to kitties?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get a cat if it's going to make you sick, honey.
Or part of me kind of wants a pig. I would
Don't have a pig in the city. Oh my God, I just said pig in the city.
Why not have a pig in the city?
Don't have a pig in the... They don't belong in the city.
Well, like, oh, you're right, because you should really have them, like, out with, like, a yard and...
Yeah, they need to be
Well, there is
outside.
a yard. There's a courtyard.
Get a dog.
I don't want a dog.
How about rabbits?
I want a dog, but I don't want a pet that, like... I want a pet that, like, if I'm going to go away for the weekend, I can just leave it.
Rabbit. Get a rabbit.
I'm kidding about that. I don't feel strongly for rabbits, but I kind of would like to get a guinea pig. But, like, I guess that raises the ethical question of, like, I don't want to, like, go buy a guinea pig.
We
like,
gotta find a place like North Star. I'm sure there's one in New York.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta find a small animal rescue that you can adopt a guinea pig from.
I kind of would like a small animal that is sort of a bit more containable, but one that's not going to get hair everywhere. Like one that would, prefer to live in a cage, like a really nice cage. I don't know. I don't know how that works. That already sounds wrong to me to have.
Well, I've seen some pretty... I mean, obviously I got pretty deep into the whole rodent world when we had the mice.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some pretty gorgeous big castles and things you can do. And if you want to get into it...
I know this sounds weird, but like, well, I mean, not to a vegan audience, of course, but lately I've been looking at pictures of rats and I've kind of been like,
oh, rats are great and they live like 3 years.
Okay, nice. So
well, that's longer than some small animals. That's a
Do
thing.
you know, I just finished watching all 3 seasons of My Cat from Hell on Animal Planet, starring Mr. Jackson Galaxy, the cat
My
behaviorist.
Cat from Hell? Whew. That sounds fun.
My Cat from Hell. Oh my God, such a good show. It's like the Cat Whisperer, basically.
Yeah, right?
And he was like, all right, the commercial break, he'll do like a trivia question. Like, trivia question, the longest cat ever in recorded history was A, 23 years. And I'm like, well, it's not 23 years. There's no way a cat lived that old. I'm sure that it's B or C. And he's like, or B, 28 years. And I'm like, no, C has to be like 18 years. He's like, or C, 34 years. And I'm like, what? And the answer was C, 34 years.
A cat?
A cat. This cat was born in 1969 and it died like,
That's
I don't know.
pretty
like
mind-blowing.
Yeah, it died in like 2000, early 2000 something. It was a 34-year-old cat. I just can't believe that. So anyway,
crazy.
Let's clip through this script because we have a lot of show left. So y'all let's talk about some ways that you guys can support us. And reminder that in supporting us, you are also helping to support North Star Rescue. So you can support us by getting your shop on. As you know, we love the vegans, big vegan cuts. I wanted to call it big fat vegan snacks because I'm looking at the link here. So you can shop at Vegan Cuts, either their beauty box or their snack box, or just buy a la carte through the marketplace. And we have the links for all those on our website. Basically anything that we're talking about today, you can just go to the website and click on support us and there will be links there. But tinyurl.com/ Big Fat Vegan Beauty Box or Big Fat Vegan Snack Box or Big Fat Vegan Marketplace. Just think, I want to shop at Vegan Cuts. No, you don't. You want to shop at tinyurl.com/ Big Fat Vegan Marketplace because then we get a little kickback.
That's
and
right.
I used to think, a kickback, sure. So every $1,000 that someone buys, we'll get like $1. No, actually, it's kind of a pretty cute kickback. We get frequent emails saying, oh, hey, here's a couple more bucks from Vegan Cuts. Like, it's really kind of nice. So you can also make a one-time donation through the site again, but tinyurl.com/ BFV donation. Or you can become a member and get some perky little perks. So for $5 a month, or just $50 for one time for a year, you can get access to our secret shows. Or for $10, there's a monthly cost and then there's a one-time cost if you don't want us to hit your account once a month. So for $5 a month or just a one-time charge of $50, we'll get you a full year for the price of 10 months. Or for $10 a month, you can get our movie night, which gives us access to the secret shows as well as our movie nights. And for $25 a month, you can get all of the above, plus a Google Hangout with me and Laura.
Mm-hmm.
For $50 a month, you get all of the above, plus you get to like just correspond with us on the regular. Like Laura always says, it's like you are literally buying our friendship. Like we'll be.
Do I always say that? Do I?
You've never stopped saying it. You are literally. We will be there for you if there's a death in your family.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can be bought. That's what I'm trying to say.
You go to the funeral.
I
you look
can
up.
be bought.
Your great auntie. You're at her funeral. You look up. There is Ben and Laura dressed in black and crying,
weeping.
Right there with you, weeping, really making kind of a spectacle.
It's embarrassing,
of themselves.
quite frankly, how hard we're crying.
Yeah, like didn't even know the woman, but you know, I
did though, because she bought my friendship.
She bought my friendship, so I'm sure your great dead aunt has a little to do with that. So, or for $100 a month, you are an official sponsor of Big Fat Vegan Radio. So all you out there listening who have a little company or a side project that you want to start up, you know, just imagine Big Fat Vegan Radio brought to you by McDonald's, huh?
What?
Huh? You like that?
No.
You like that? Well, if we can get them to give us $100 a month, why wouldn't we say Big Fat Vegan Radio brought? Well, why don't we?
I guess I would say it.
McDonald's presents.
I guess I would.
Big Fat Vegan Radio. How about McDonald's in association with the Moscow, Russia Olympics or the Sochi Olympics? Sochi. So I'm totally out of touch with this story. Presents Big Fat Vegan Radio, a Chevron production.
You're losing me. I am fading fast.
I've lost myself. I've lost myself in that. So anyway, those are all the ways you can support us. So so for and if you don't want to pay, rather than running down every single cost, if you don't want to do the monthly and have us hit your account every month, because I know I don't always have money in my account. But otherwise, you can buy basically a year's worth of membership for just the 10 months.
For the price of 10 months? Yeah, it's
a pretty
good deal.
Yeah. So there is that. We're going to go into some listener mail now. If you know our fundraiser podcast, our fundraiser episode format, it is such that we finally break into all these gorgeous, luscious, nacho cheesy... not to imply they're cheesy, but they're nacho-y.
We just mean they're delicious.
Delicious emails from our gorgeous listeners. I love them. That's a Drag Race reference. The first person who can tweet what that was a reference to will get a free year membership at the Secret Show level. Boom.
Whoa.
I love them.
Giveaways happening right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Happening. Boom. There you go.
You know, I've got bad news, Ben.
What's the news?
I need to go to the bathroom.
Why didn't you think of that before we started the episode?
You know what I did? But then we started the episode 30 minutes after that.
Why didn't you think about that when you said yes to being my co-host?
Oh, God. Can I go and you can read the ways to contact us?
I will do that.
Okay,
I
thanks.
will do that. Okay. I thought she'd never leave. So anyway, here's what's up. So we're going to read some awesome love letters to us. And here are the ways you can contact us. As always, all of these methods of contact are listed at bigfatveganradio.com. Which actually, we're changing the name of the podcast. I guess this is the best time to tell you. We're going to call it bigfatvegetarianradio.com. Now, hear me out. Here's why I think that's a better decision. Because I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Calm down. Whew. That was fun, wasn't it? Okay. So bigfatveganradio.com. You can call us at 315-VEGAN-01. That is 315-834-2601. You can email us at bigfatveganradio@gmail.com. You can tweet us at bigfatvegans. And you can find us on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/bigfatveganradio. That is our channel. And you can find us on Facebook at Big Fat Vegan Radio on Facebook. How are you back from the bathroom that quickly?
How beautifully did we time that?
How did you go to the bathroom that quickly?
I'm a very fast
girl.
bathroom user.
You're a girl. That was like a fast. Did you wash your hands?
First of all, that's none of your business. And secondly, no, I
okay.
didn't wash my hands. That's the answer. But
you're home by yourself.
I didn't get any pee on my hands either. I was careful. The other thing is, you know how you learn how to pee fast?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just have 2 3-year-olds in the other room screaming, Nanny! Nanny! You will pee faster than you have ever peed in your life.
I think sometimes at night when I'm sleeping, people come into my room and scream nanny. I think sometimes that explains it.
Or it's like everything's perfectly fine. They're perfectly happy. I go pee, and then suddenly it's like, ah!
Wait, what's that? What's the slap? What's the sound effect?
Oh, that's one of them hitting the other one.
Oh.
That's a twin thing. I mean, I'm
That's
sure it's
funny.
a sibling thing too, but with twins, they're like in the same developmental stage at the same time. So like,
Oh, yeah.
they both don't understand that hitting hurts the other person, and they both want to hit when they get angry. So it's like they just beat each other up.
I made the announcement, by the way,
Which
to
announcement?
the audience that we're changing our name.
Oh, did I
Should we
that
get into
email?
this real quick? Remember, we're gonna be Big Fat Omnivore Radio.com.
Just doesn't have the same ring to it.
It's me Big Fat is
Omnivorous.
Big Fat Personal Choices Radio. So to sort of self-contain our veganism, to say veganism is our personal choice,
Oh, God,
and that's
personal choice. I could just barf over people telling me it's my personal choice. God, shut up.
I was watching Freely Frugivore, and I don't know who this girl is, but there is this blonde, like platinum dyed blonde girl who wears a lot of makeup, has big fluffy boobies that are always thrust up into the camera. And I would just describe her body type as a little portly. In a way that I think looks really good on her. Like she almost looks kind of like Pam Anderson, but a little plump. She's a beautiful girl. But this is the same girl who did like a YouTube video about like, that's why I'm voting for Mitt Romney. Because Paul Ryan, or I think his name is Ryan. I know his first name is Ryan. I forget his last name. But he's hot.
Oh my God.
And not Mitt Romney. He's not hot. Gross. This girl like...
My brain actually just shut down from the way you were talking. Like, I
That's
can't
what
even
happens.
process it. Like, I just shut down.
That's what happens because when it's a legitimate idiot, your brain has ways of shutting that whole thing
No, my
down.
brain's just like, you can't enter this zone.
Oh,
You cannot come in.
totally,
We will combust.
I set that up so well, and you didn't even hear the joke in that.
Oh.
I said because when it's a legitimate idiot, your brain has ways of shutting that whole
Oh
thing
my
down.
God. Oh my God.
That's-
So my old acquaintance, I want to say old friend, but I feel like that's really gone. That's so sad.
My old
But this guy, Mike Drucker, we used to do.
best acquaintances.
We're old friends. We're not really.
BAF.
No, we used to do a lot of stand up together and hang out. We had a lot of mutual friends, but I don't. He acts like he doesn't remember me now, so whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's the problem right there. It was all standing up. You guys never sat down. together.
No, we used to sit down. I was drunk though, but anyway, so he writes for Jimmy Fallon now, right? So I guess that's the Tonight Show now.
Oh,
But he started on.
Look at me! I write for Jimmy Fallon.
Don't make fun of him. He's nice.
I'm not making fun. I'm
isn't
strangely jealous.
just isn't maintaining acquaintanceship with me, which happens
Well,
when
he
people
doesn't
get
have
successful. Okay,
Right, he
So
doesn't
it's
have to anymore.
whatever. So he
The day that I have a show on NPR, you think I'm still going to even acknowledge this little podunk show we used to have?
Oh, you're going to acknowledge me. Anyway, he writes for the Tonight Show. I think this is when he was on late night. That was before Fallon had the Tonight Show. Anyway, he when that senator, that legitimate guy, he tweeted like he said something about how he apologized or something, or he said I don't know why people are still hounding me about this. I apologized, and Mike Drucker, you guys should all follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious. He replied to him and wrote, "Yes, but did you legitimately apologize?"
Burn!
I was like, my hero.
Yeah, see, that was not a legitimate apology. So I had ways. I shut
My
that
body
whole
has
thing
ways.
down. Oh my god,
Super funny.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Mike Drucker is his name.
Mike Drucker. Yeah, we used to
I'm
do tons
finding
of
him right
stand up
now.
together. We were on the same show like 5 days a week. He's really funny.
Awesome. Oh, he's got 58,000 followers.
Yeah, he's not nobody.
You're friends with people who have 5 figures.
Dude, I
of
said
followers?
acquaintance for a reason. He hardly acknowledges me
right.
anymore.
Oh, right.
But yeah,
right.
we spent years together doing stand up in New York. I mean, I used to know Amy
Wait.
Schumer too. She also doesn't acknowledge me.
Hey, you knew Amy Schumer.
Are you kidding? We used to do open mics together. Yeah.
Oh my god, how funny.
We were on the same
There-
show together this one time, and it was one of the best sets I had in front of a big audience, and the night was being videotaped. And she came up to me and gave me the biggest hug and was just gushing about how hilarious I am. She is a doll, but if I tweet at her, she doesn't reply. She doesn't acknowledge it at all. Same thing with Mike. If I tweet at him, he just totally ignores it, which I think is rude. You could reply to me on Twitter. We used to know each other. It's fine. It's fine. They're famous. I don't mean to be a jerk about it. It's fine. They're famous. If I'm famous, who knows who I'll ignore? Maybe I'm ignoring people now and I don't even know it. I don't mean to judge them. They're busy.
Well, fine, but you don't have to judge them. What I think that's the whole reason that we have listeners who can now tweet at Mike Drucker saying, the people, hashtag the people,
Stop.
demand you acknowledge Laura Yaz.
Please, no one do that. Okay.
I'm so kidding.
He's very sweet and he's very nice, and I'm thrilled for his success. And I am far in his past.
His cover photo on Twitter is dinosaurs having a snowball fight.
Is it?
It's my happiest picture I've ever seen in my life. I know nothing about this man, and I'm already thrilled.
Well, he's very funny. He's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll enjoy his Twitter. He's great on Twitter.
I really want to see you make a return to stand up.
I don't.
I know that you have no desire to, but have you ever seen? But what if we forced you back into it? Because that's funny, obligatory stand up, right?
I prefer what I do now.
Mm.
I prefer doing live shows with you. I prefer hosting stuff and doing the show. That's what I prefer.
Let's just do a heck of a lot more. Let's just do a heck of a lot more live shows.
Yeah, look, I just don't like, stand-up is so hard and it requires 100%. You can't do it as a side thing. I don't have what it takes, man. It's not for me.
I bet you at this point, 49 minutes into the episode,
good God,
Soraya is like just tapping.
Are we
her
really
toes,
that? Has it been 49
tapping.
minutes?
It's been either 4 minutes or 49 minutes.
Okay, we need to edit like half of that out.
No, it's brilliant stuff.
No, this is horrifying. You guys, this happened on The Secret Show, too. The
God.
Secret Show is like 90 minutes long because I couldn't get Ben to shut up.
Yeah. Don't see now you want to have access to the secret shows, don't you? Yeah.
Become a man.
Literally, this I feel like Ed Harris right now, starring in and self-directing the film Pollock. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. Oh,
no,
this
is because we haven't recorded in so long. We're like,
we have so much to say.
We should
make this. We should make this part 1 and a part 2 episode.
No.
That part 1 will be the stuff that you can listen to without having to give us money, and then part 2 is all the, we need money.
I don't want to do a 2-part movie.
I'm kidding.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hi, Siri.
Hello, Ben.
Sorry, I have to use you for this commercial because Laura's busy shopping online at the Vegan Woman Shop.
I had no idea there was such a shop.
Yeah, it's clothes and handbags, accessories, even some hoodies and stuff for guys too. It's a pretty great selection, actually. I don't blame her. Siri? Siri, where did you go?
Sorry, Ben. I got distracted. I am looking at their website now.
Figures. Well, as long as you're shopping there, be sure to use the 10% coupon you'll get for donating to Big Fat Vegan Radio. Do you even have any money, Siri?
I have access to other people's money. Wait. I never said that. theveganwoman.com/shop.
So I bet you Soraya is listening to this episode, like tapping her toe, like, all right, come on, get on with it. Get on with it. Get on with it.
Is that
I'm
how
sure.
it's pronounced? Soraya? I don't think that's it. I think it's Saria.
It's either Saria or probably Soraya.
Saria. I like Saria or Saria.
I'm just going to be bold here and just guesstimate that it's probably Soraya.
How about
she's probably
Saria?
she's probably feeling vindicated by my unflinching pronunciation of it. By my not even recognizing that there could be any other way of saying her name, but like it's clearly Soraya.
We're obviously butchering it, for which we apologize.
What do you mean, we, white woman?
I apologize. Sorry,
Thank
yeah.
you. Soraya. Laura is Saria, okay?
Sorry.
So anyway, we have an email from
I'm having a lot of fun.
SARYA. Yeah, I'm sure she is too. I'm sure she's not cringing.
I'm sure whoever actually wrote this email is like, who are they talking about?
I'm sure now that she's waited 51 minutes for us to get to her name, now she's like, oh, please, God, don't make them spend another 50 minutes on my name. But we're going to, because here's the plan. I'm kidding. So
I think Saria is my guess. Saria.
I feel like they are exhausted from my voice at this point.
Dear Laura and Honey, this was an email, by the way, from Saria. Oh, we're sorry if we're mispronouncing that. Dear Laura and Honey, I simply love your podcast. It gets me through these days of terrible exam revision and motivates me to stay vegan. I am curious about something, though. Is it vegan to continue using some clothes that are not vegan that you had before you started your veganism? I have loads of jumpers and other vintage bags that I have bought at charity shops ages ago, and it would be such a shame to stop using them, especially since they are the most handy items that I have. Anyways, I brought it up on a Facebook vegan group, and I have concluded that they are all very catty and critical. And didn't really answer my question.
Imagine that.
Oh my. Thanks, and keep doing your podcast. I'm almost tempted to apply to be your intern, but I'm all the way in Scotland. Would that even be possible? Thanks. Sorry,
Woo!
Scotland.
Soraya. Could I just share a joke that I'm sure you've heard? There was a stand-up comic. I don't know if he was Asian or if he was not Asian, but he's saying something to the audience like, where are my Asians in the audience? And you hear everyone going like, woo! And they're like, oh, they're so proud. They're all shouting their last name.
Oh, gosh.
That's funny. As far as being an intern, that's not a question for us. That's more a question that you'd have to ask La Madison Marie.
Oh, yeah, she's in charge.
I'm putting a "la" in front of her name to make it fancier.
She's the lady. I'm sure there's stuff that we could have done in Scotland. Internet stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
There is some. You know what, Soraya? If you could just send us a little CV. No, but like tell us what you're good at and what you do well and what you would like to be able to do. For I'll just call us mom and dad. Can I just refer to us as mom and dad? Mama and papa?
As long as I'm dad.
Yeah, duh.
Okay,
duh.
Cool. I'm fine with it then.
But yeah, I mean, there is definitely some stuff that I'm sure we're about to start throwing a lot of stuff at Madison.
Yeah, she's going to be real busy.
She does a lot anyway, but there's just more stuff that we want to start expanding, and maybe you could help her out with some of that. So that
and maybe say take some things off her plate, and that way she could do different stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
so great.
It's
So
worth
I hope
discussing. I also want to let you know that
I
I once slept with a Scottish person.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How was it?
I have no memory of it. How's that?
I gotcha. That's either pleading the fifth.
Oh, Dad listens to the show. I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Dad.
Do you want me to edit this out? Your dad listens to us?
Yeah, he does.
But your dad's
It's
like
okay. He knows that I used to drink too much. He's aware.
I'm sure you drank just enough. It was just too frequently.
I'm pretty sure it was not enough.
No. I'm pretty sure the problem is that I never.
It was never
got enough. That's just the problem. I'm a little nervous now that your dad listens to this because your dad's like a super musician and he gets to hear me sing.
I know. Michael was so funny when Michael Heron was writing the theme song. He told me, he goes, I'm really nervous because I know your dad's going to listen to this. I thought that was so sweet. And at that time I said, I don't think my dad's going to listen to it, but he does now.
I was looking through our iTunes reviews and one person was like, I love the podcast, except for the annoying theme song.
Seriously?
And I'm like, yes!
I haven't seen that review.
What?
I thought I've read all the reviews. It must be fairly recent.
I still listen to our theme song, and I find it adorable. And I'm extremely critical. There is actually one little blip in our theme song that I don't like. Actually, 2 or 3 that I don't care for. One is that when I say drag queen Colleen Patrick Goudreau, I feel like it's hard to hear that I'm saying drag queen.
Yeah, it's not super clear. Yeah, I know. I get that.
Yeah, I hate that.
Well, I think our theme song is adorable too. So much so that like I don't ever want to change it. I mean,
I feel like Soraya just checked out.
I'm pretty married to it.
I feel like she's like,
okay, stop saying Saria.
I've waited 51 minutes. It's Soraya.
Saria.
It's Soraya.
Email her. Ooh.
Email her.
What I wanted to say is that absolutely keep using your non-vegan stuff. Absolutely. There's nothing not vegan about that. I think being wasteful is actually more against veganism than making use of what you have. I mean, of course, that's all subjective and up to your opinion, but I also believe that thrift shopping, is like sort of more of a gray area. Like I know a lot of people who thrift their clothes and struggle to find 100% vegan items. But if you're thrifting, it's like, you're not really voting with your money towards like a leather item because you're thrifting. It becomes a gray area. But that's sort of not the point. The point is that if you have shoes that are perfectly good, if it's not bothering you to be using them, if you like them, I say keep using them. The only thing is, occasionally I've heard people say like, oh, I have a down coat and it makes me really sad when I wear it. Then I would say save up, get a different coat and donate that coat if it's making you sad. But if if you're like, oh, I like these bags, I want to keep using them, I bought them before I was vegan, keep using them. Absolutely. Don't be wasteful, I say. Mm-hmm. How's that response? It was a little all over the place.
No, it's good. It's good. I would say don't call your exam revision and motivates me to stay vegan. First off, you are not vegan. You cannot call yourself vegan. You can't. How dare you? How dare you call yourself vegan? You have an old leather article of clothing in your closet. You dare to wear... No, I'm kidding. Soraya is like, she's like, I'm worried
she started crying.
I'm so worried. Here's the thing. Okay, I have a character that I have created for a play that I did about 5 years ago. His name is Cletus Buford. I feel like I owe it to you guys to put a picture of him in the show notes. You know what? I will put it on the Big Fat Vegan Radio page, on the Facebook page, a picture of Ben Strothman as Cletus Buford. And this was like right before I went vegan. But he's like this like 45-year-old Texan in a play that I did. Anyway, and I occasionally bust that character out. And I only have this old pair of leather cowboy boots. Now, actually, because when I went vegan, I actually gave them away to someone. But then for Halloween, I wanted to go as this character again. So I was like, well, I'm not going to buy a new pair of cowboy boots.
Oh, goodness, no.
But I needed that pair. So I called up my friend to whom I gave them. And I asked if I could borrow them again. So like I went out in a pair of leather cowboy boots as a full-on vegan. But it's just like, look, I don't have it right now. I would love a pair of vegan cowboy boots. Oh my God, Marie. But oh my God, as I'm looking through to find this picture of me as Cletus, I came across my passport from when I was 21 years old. And I'm just going to say, oh my God, I was hot. Except for those brows. I had not yet learned that brows need to be maintained.
Girl,
and
they
look like mid-1980s Madonna brows. But anyway, that aside.
So we're saying it's fine. We're saying
it's fine. Now, I will say, like, I don't want to not acknowledge other points of view that some people might have, because yeah, there is something to be said about that.
Well, but I think it's very important to say that if you cannot afford to donate all your vegan stuff and buy new stuff to replace it, donate all your non-vegan stuff and buy new vegan stuff to replace it. If you can't afford that, don't do that. Don't beat yourself up. You'll do it as you can.
Yeah, exactly. But like now I do get, here's probably why some of the people, and I'm sure you've read this if you got their feedback in those forums, but some of the people from those other forums have probably been saying things along the lines of, yes, but by wearing it, you're making it look
Sending
fashionable,
message, seeming inconsistent.
and you're either basically, I would say bottom line, to wear something is to endorse it. To wear something is to say, I feel this is okay.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not that black and white. Like,
well, that's why I think that you have to go with your feelings on it, because quite simply, for me to wear like a fur coat, say, right?
Yeah.
That maybe was like old and left over or whatever. Say I had a fur coat. I mean, I don't, but say I did. And, I was going to go out wearing it, or a leather jacket, or, I don't know, some kind of like sheepskin vest or something, right? Or like super tall leather boots, right? And I was going to go out in that outfit. Like for me, in my heart, I would not feel good about it. It would bother me, right?
Right.
So that's where I need to make those choices. However, I will tell you guys right now that I have a belt that is like a fabric belt. Like, I don't know, like it's like seatbelt material or whatever, but it has like a leather things on the ends. Like, I still wear that belt. It's old. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's perfectly fine. And I don't feel that bad about it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm walking around being like, I am wearing a leather belt. Like, it's an old belt. Had it for a long time. I almost never wear belts. Not going to get rid of it, until I feel like I really need to,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not breaking my heart to wear that belt. I wish it was vegan. It's not. It's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But if I was going to go out and like, I did have a red coat that was like floor length, and it was like, I want to say eel skin or something crazy. It was some kind of crazy like high fashion thing. I mean, I got rid of that right away. I couldn't bear to look at it anymore, I gave it to a friend because I was like, I can't even have this in my closet. I feel so bad about having it.
See, I feel like my take that I just gave might sound confusing, or like I'm sending mixed messages. I'm just sort of acknowledging the point of view that other people might have, and like, so to better understand their criticism, you could be like, yes, I am aware that by wearing this, I run the risk that I accept responsibility for the fact that this could be construed as an endorsement by some people.
Yeah.
But that is also to acknowledge that those people are looking at you through their own filter, through their own interpretation. And that is not always the case. Like, for example, I had to concede when I once heard someone say something about like someone wearing a fur coat, and like, if you ask me, is it ever acceptable to wear a fur coat in any situation? No. The answer is no. Across the board, no. Not in any situation, not at all, whatsoever, no. And then someone told me, well, so-and-so, this girl who wore a fur coat, it was donated to her. This girl, like, I don't know that she was homeless, but this girl basically was not living in a luxury, affordable apartment at 44th and 10th with a dishwasher.
So let's say homeless.
Sure. This girl was down and out. And it was winter. And this is her only coat. Now, am I going to begrudge her that she's wearing that? Like, no. I mean, it's just not my place to say, because I have not walked a mile in her moose shoes. I haven't. I don't know what this girl did. Like that?
That's also kind of a desert island thing. I've never seen a homeless person whose only option was to wear a fur coat. I mean, get real.
Oh, right. But I mean,
I'm being completely serious. That's not a real scenario.
Sure. But
that's
this also
like
wasn't
a stupid scenario to trip you up. That's not a real discussion.
Right. But I mean, this was a real discussion about a real person.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't think she was homeless, but like this, the person in question was like, well, my friend so-and-so, I mean, she has a fur coat.
Desperate situation.
And I wouldn't judge her for it because it's winter. She's desperate. She has nothing else. She doesn't have the means. So I would say, other people will will continue to look at you and judge you and say why it's not okay, but only you know why it's okay. And look,
yes.
All the items, I had many items that were not vegan. And our friend Ethan Cement, Dr. Ethan of the Vegan Mo's, he asked me this question once, and he's like, hey, I'm questioning and letting go of some of my old items. I already bought them. Is it okay? I think he was talking about leather items. He's like, is it okay? And I'm like, well, look, here's the thing. For the entire time that I'm wearing a pair of leather boots, I have to practice separating myself. I have to practice ignoring the fact that I'm wearing something that used to be the skin of something living. And I have to turn that part of me off.
Right.
And I don't like that. I don't like having to exercise that. But, when you're at a certain point, and also exams, I'm assuming that this girl is a college student. Like, girl, be easy on yourself.
Yeah,
like, if
absolutely.
You want, the worst thing for you to do if you want to stay vegan is
destitute yourself. Yeah.
Put yourself. Yeah. Don't prostitute yourself. No one likes a broke. Either way, destitute or prostitute or anything. But I'm kidding. So, you don't want to put yourself in a pressure cooker.
But yeah, and also don't beat yourself up. And
then 2 years from now, you're saying, yeah, I was vegan, but you know what? Here's why I'm not vegan anymore. Is because I wasn't vegan enough. And in order to be vegan, someone told me I had to be gluten-free.
Yeah, I've had a few times where I go out to something and I've thought, it's been a long time because pretty much all my stuff is vegan now. But, like if you're worried someone's going to ask you about your shoes or something, it's like, just be honest and be like, I just can't afford to get rid of them right now. And I'm using them, which makes me feel good about it. And, as soon as I can replace them, I'm going to, and I'm going to donate these. But for right now, I'm keeping them. But I am aware that it's not vegan, and I want to make that change. It's hard.
Boom.
It's hard.
So while I am basically trying to shed some light on why people might take issue with it, I'm also saying, you know what? That is your call to make.
Yes, it is your personal decision with your own heart. I mean, please don't go out and buy a leather jacket, obviously.
Right, please don't. And it doesn't make you any more or less vegan.
Right.
You will, your veganism will be expressed as only you can express it in your lifetime. Yeah. No one else can express Soraya's veganism or other
Why are you making her name sound like psoriasis?
Soraya, Soraya, is the Spanish spelling of a very similar sounding name. I know plenty of people named Soraya.
Sorry,
so I don't know any Sorayas.
I feel like we need to get a Scottish accent on to get this name right.
I feel like we need to do no such thing.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's time to go to commercial.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's time for a lot of things. So anyway, Soraya, sorry, yeah. Thank you so much for writing, and I hope that answers your question, and I hope I didn't basically just convolute anything. But long story short, you go, girl.
You were fine, Ben. You were fine. You were very clear.
You do you, boo. You do you. You do you, boo. Get it? Because they rhyme.
We should have called her Woo the whole time.
And now, a word from our sponsor. And now, a word from our very good friend from whom we take suggestions.
Secret show callback. Ben, I love your new shirt.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great, isn't it?
The design is so fabulous, and I love the message naturally.
Me too. It's from Compassion Co. They're an amazing company.
How so?
Well, all of the art is hand-drawn, one of a kind, and the shirts themselves are made from recycled, organic material, and their entire production is sweatshop free.
Wow, that's incredible.
Sweatshop free. Isn't it great? You can always feel good about supporting Compassion Co., but to make things even better, they're giving a 10% discount to Big Fat Vegan donors for the month of September.
That is so great.
I know. So be sure to grab yourself an eco-friendly vegan message t-shirt today.
CompassionCo.BigCartel.com.
All right, woo, we are back from commercial. We've got another email from Diana.
Hold on, that's pronounced incorrectly.
How is that pronounced?
Diana.
Oh, wait, no, I think it's a veiled threat. I think it's someone named Anna, and we're telling her to die.
No, it's
I'm sure she's heard that all her
Deanna.
life. Deanna.
She wrote it in the email. Deanna.
Oh, is it really? I
Yeah,
thought you were
no,
just
I'm
being
not
funny.
joking.
I
Although
thought she was being funny.
certainly seems like it's our shtick with the names.
It is, because we all... Oh, she was born in Peru.
All right, let's read the email.
Look
You do
at
it.
this. All right, so this one is from Diana. Hi, Ben, and should I do kind of like a Spanish accent for this one?
Please don't.
Okay. I will have you know I won awards in the Spanish pronunciation contest in junior high. And that was now 20 years ago, so I won't. Hi, Ben and Laura. I've been listening since y'all put out the podcast pretty much. And most of the time I think, oh, I should write them about this. Or I should comment to them about that. But being the forgetful person I am, I just never got around to it. I have to tell you, so I was just painting a picture of Freddie Mercury, who I worship like a god.
Preach, girl. Preach.
And eating some apple slices when I heard Ben mention my name. Oh, my science. I freaked the beep out. I immediately texted my boyfriend about it, though he could not appreciate how amazing this was. Still love him, though. Well, I'll tell you a bit about myself. I've been vegan for 6 years now, slowly eased myself into it at the end of 8th grade, and now, oh my God, 8th grade. Oh my God. Anyway, slowly eased myself into it at the end of 8th grade, and now I just survived my first year of college. Thanks to Colleen, yeah, Ben, I love her too. I've had all the tools and responses to deal with nearly every situation. An editor's note here, I totally agree. Listening to Colleen, you will be able to win any argument, and you will always have facts on your side. Continuing. And though I do encounter the occasional butt face, most people are really kind or politely disinterested. I live in sunny Tucson, Arizona, and I've discovered the wonder of vegan restaurants and readily available health food stores. Whole Foods is literally 3 blocks away. Literally. It was so nice moving to a big city where this S word happens. So what happens here in Tucson? I think it's Tucson. Yeah, it's probably Tucson. So what happens here in Tucson?
Tuscany.
What happens here in Tuscany, Arizona? Well, we have a lovely vegan restaurant called Loving Spoonfuls.
Cute.
And the Vegan and Vegetarian Meetup. They have been hosting free screenings of veg-oriented movies. I dragged my roomie and bestie, Joss, to Vegucated, and next we're going to go see Forks Over Knives. They also had a couple of vegan bake sales and other such events. Unfortunately, most people are in the older age group, so not too many teens or 20-ish people to talk to, but I look forward to meeting that gang more. And I hear that in the fall, Tucson is going to have a Veg Fest, and Colleen will be there. OMFS. Well, that's about it. I plan on writing to y'all more often with my insight on being a young vegan and being vegan in small towns. And I'll probably bother you on Facebook. P.S. I use Oh My Science instead of Oh My God because I believe science is far more fascinating than any religion.
High five.
P.P.S. My name is pronounced Diana. It's in Spanish. I was born in Peru. Love you guys, and I hope to meet you someday.
Yay!
Oh, thank you, Diana. That's such a sweet email. I think I remember mentioning her, but I think I called her Diana. Well, of course I called her Diana.
I think we did too. You know, I have to say, at the Veggie Prom in LA, I also met somebody who came up to me and was like, hi, I'm a big fan of the show. And I was like, oh, it's so awesome, blah, blah. And I don't remember, of course, I'm a terrible person. I don't remember her name, but she was like, you guys mispronounced my name and it was so fun.
Wait, this was her at a show?
No, it was somebody else, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was really funny. She was like, whatever. She told me the story about us saying her name wrong, and I remembered it at the time, but I met a lot of people that night. I'm sorry, I don't recall her actual name. But
yeah, I'm sorry. Laura's probably not responding to you on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm probably ignoring you on Twitter,
all.
and you're probably really resentful about it. No, but that was so fun, that prom. I met so many fans. It was so great.
It's fine though to mispronounce her name, because I mean, first off, it looks like Diana, and secondly, she keeps mispronouncing God every time she says.
Stop it, Diana!
Oh my God.
I love you.
Oh my God!
Oh my science! I might adopt that.
I have to say, I'm Diana. Take comfort in knowing that it literally does make me cringe every time someone says, "Oh my science," and here is why. I do not see science and God at all being mutually exclusive. For me,
very nice.
I think I'm also not in any way a subscriber to any form of religion. I will say I don't feel the need to condemn any religion wholesale because I don't think any religion out there is 100% wrong. I love talking to the guy at my bodega downstairs who is Muslim. I love some of the stuff that he has to say that his religion offers him and that it gives him in his life. I mean, it gives him such a way of outfitting himself to the world and such a way of loving his fellow man. And like, I was watching his Facebook and it looks weird if you're like...
You're Facebook friends with the bodega guy?
Oh my God, I love him. He moved away because he got his own store. His name is Max, and I mean, every single time Caldwell leaves the house in drag, he'll stop in and see the bodega guy, and the bodega guy will take a picture with his camera phone because he has a collection. And apparently his wife, was like, who is this woman? Who is this woman? And like broke up their home.
Excuse
over
me, Max? Who is this?
Who is
Max,
this? Yeah,
who is
her
this?
name is
Who is
Bob.
this?
Her name is Bob the drag queen. The last name is Swedish, of course, but I mean, like, everything on his Facebook wall, like someone posted a picture, or he posted a picture of his family, and all the comments have the word Allah in them, like to me that was creeping me out, like, oh my god, they're gonna bomb us or something, like something awfully paranoid and anti-Muslim and racist. But like, I started to realize that like, this is a man who sees everything as a blessing from God. And for me, I can relate to that because I define God as a form of spiritual electricity that I can access when I stay out of my own way. And I feel like that is a definition anyone can get down with, and like, oh yeah, well, a big spiritual electricity, I get that.
Well,
and
I'm just gonna say that I'm an atheist and I respect what you're doing.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm only saying that, like, for me, if you hear me saying, oh my God, like, for me, God, when I say God, I don't mean that and God is not, when people believe in God, it is not always.
No, don't worry. No one is confused. No one thinks you're religious.
No, I got you. But like, when you hear God, like, it does not always conjure up religion. Like, a lot of people have liberated themselves from that. And so yeah, as I see science and God, like, they are one in the same. Like, it's absolutely, science is basically us just sort of like. I can't believe
how long this is going. Wrap it up.
I know. Science is just our way. Gotcha. Science is just our way of like using math and whatnot to like figure out how God's doing all of his tricks. Because it's like if you see a magician,
for you,
like, oh,
Ben,
it wasn't for me. No, absolutely. For me, like, it's like finding out how a magician did something. When you figure out what's happening behind the curtain, you're like, oh, that's how you did it. And that's what science is. It's our way of like, oh God, you stinker, I see how you did that. That's awesome.
For you.
Yeah.
For you.
For me.
That was so annoying, everyone. I apologize.
And another free secret show level membership for a year for anyone who can tell me what that reference was from.
Wow.
Only the first person, not anyone. The first person.
Just giving out memberships over here.
Why not? Because I want people to hear my hour-long secret show.
I think we need to do a few more obscure references for that to work.
Well, that's...
Actually, I have no idea what that was from, so I guess it's obscure enough.
Everyone knows what For Me is from. For me!
I don't know what that's from.
For me!
I'll do one, and if you can do mine too, that's also a membership.
Oh, look who's giving it all away now.
I want my $2.
Oh my God, I love you for that.
I want my $2.
To be fair, with inflation, if that
$2.
If that show was today, that probably would be like,
25.
I want my $7.28.
I want my $25.
I want
A word from our sponsor.
Ben, what's in this?
It's the new Beyond Meat beefless crumbles. Oh my god, they're so good.
These are incredible!
Aren't they? And the awesome guys over at Beyond Meat sent us a $2 off coupon for every donor.
What an awesome coupon!
I know! Seriously, they're so good. And even better is that Beyond Meat is now available at most Safeway stores, so you can get it almost anywhere.
That is so great!
I'm pointing my fork at it. So good.
BeyondMeat.com.
I think the sound of Laura's chewing implied that she was having like nachos, which I'm fine with.
Nachos with beefless crumbles, that's fine.
I am happy to say I did my cooking demo for Whirlpool, and I used their feisty flavored beefless crumbles.
Spicy
to make
or Fiesta?
Fiesta. Is it Fiesta? I thought it was feisty.
I think
Fiesta.
there's a couple different flavors.
Feisty Fiesta. To make the cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell.
Oh, I bet that was good.
I just loved that I basically gave Whirlpool an inventory order to be like, yeah, so just get some beefless crumbles. Do you know how many orders of beefless crumbles they had to order probably to cater to this party of 200 people?
Oh, they got a lot, huh?
Like, oh yeah. You're welcome, Beyond Meat, and thank you, Beyond Meat.
Oh yeah, we love Beyond Meat. They're such big fans of Big Fat Vegan Radio, and we're such big fans of them. Couldn't love them more.
And my mom is such a vegan meat phobe, but I made a cheesy gordita crunch for my dad and my brother, and my dad was just like unable to cope with how good it was.
I bet it's
my
great.
Dad,
What'd you use for the nacho cheese?
Well, there's no nacho cheese in the cheesy gordita crunch. It's shredded melted cheese.
Oh,
so
I'm thinking of the thing with the nacho
the
cheese.
chalupa. The
Oh, okay.
chalupa you're thinking. So it was just shredded cheddar cheese is all. And then I made a pepper jack sauce, which is my own recipe, and I will do it on my cooking show.
Oh, yummy. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, my dad would be such an easy vegan convert because, oh
Really?
my God, everything that I make, he just loves. Love him.
All right.
So
Well,
we
should
have
read
another
this
message
Facebook
from
message.
Andrea or Andrea.
Names. I'm going to say Andrea.
Would you like to read this one?
Yes. First, let me say that I love your podcast and thank you so much for recommending Food for Thought with Colleen Patrick Gaudreau. I am loving it as well. I was an almost vegan for a year in the past. I watched Vegucated recently and remembered the reasons why I felt led to eliminating animal products from my diet in the past. I fell off the wagon years ago and I fell hard. It was so easy to go vegan and stay vegan, but once I slipped, and it was at Wendy's of all the things, gross, it felt almost impossible to start back up again. I felt like I tricked myself with a mindset of, well, I failed. I obviously can't do this. Let's go back to ignorance. I still spoke up for animal rights, but I wasn't doing anything about it. My words and actions did not match whatsoever. After watching Vegucated and starting your and Colleen's podcasts, I feel like I can't not do anything. I can't not do this. I'm going to start out vegetarian and transition to veganism. I have started taking stock of my beauty products, etc. I'm very excited and already looking into what vegan dish I can bring to my family's Christmas dinner. What better way to promote veganism than introducing people to delicious food? Anyway, that was a really long way of saying thank you. Thank you for me, my cholesterol, which is way too high, and thank you for all the animals, including my guinea pig Faustus. Faustus! Who I think enjoys not being eaten / having cosmetics tested on him very much. Who you have saved yourself and saved by spreading the word to the world. I love that you encourage education and compassion over carnivore shaming. I think the best way to change the world is with love, knowledge, and not aggression. Thank you. Oh my God, Andrea, I love you. Mwah, thank you.
That is so sweet.
I have to say
Thank
the
you.
Facebook messages get a little lost for us because we don't run the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just went into them for this episode. So I just want to say that if, we're slow on the response on Facebook, Hang in there. We'll get to it.
Do I not adequately carnivore shame? I gotta up the my intention.
I think it's a compliment.
I think originally I wanted to name this podcast "Big Fat Shame on You." Radio.
Big fat vegan shame.
Yeah, big fat carnivore shame.
Well, we did shame vegetarians the last episode.
No, yeah, I know. We're all about love and vegan enthusiasm, and really any bridge, any bridge you have to build to get to veganism.
Amen.
Girl, just build it.
Build that bridge.
Build a bridge. We should have a song about building a bridge or something.
Well, we do have a song coming up.
We kind of do have a song about that very thing. I'm so excited. I'm
so excited. Is it going to be good? Are you editing it so that it sounds fierce?
I have decided that I refuse. I refuse to sing this song.
Yeah, Ben did refuse to sing it. He basically put a gun to my head and said, "You're singing."
I refuse to sing. This is Laura's song. This is Laura's baby.
Well, it is my baby in the sense that, when everyone hears what it is, they'll be like, "Oh, of course Laura felt inspired to do that." Because I have heard this song more than any other song in like at least a year.
Ever.
I mean, this song is in my life.
This song is in your blood.
It's in my head. I hear it all the time.
I think it's even in your stool in just small chunks.
This song is in me. It's been a big part of my life. And I just suddenly one day, when it was playing yet again, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, we should do this for a parody. We should do this for a parody. So I felt really inspired to write it. And then also, I will say also the support of my dear friend Michael Heron insisting that I sing the song, as well as Ben insisting that I sing the song. I felt like I had to. I felt like there was no other option.
I'm glad you did. I think it sounds great. I'm really excited about it.
You're sweet. I am expecting you to make it magically sound even better.
Well, I'm going to sing over everything.
Oh, so good. That'll be the solution.
I'm going to bump you down to backup singer.
I'm just in the background.
But I'm kidding. So yeah, I'm excited about this. So before
I'm sorry for all of our fans who love Ben singing, who's like, "Oh, no, Ben."
I feel totally fine not being the singer on this one. I won't lie, I loved the idea of this song. So I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that would be awesome. But then, there was a part of me that was hoping you would be like, I really don't want to. You can go ahead. Because when we first decided to do song parodies, you were like, I will never want to sing on a song.
I know, I did say that.
And I was like, oh, I thank you for that. But when I heard that your reason for not wanting to sing this was because you were just nervous to, I'm like, no, incorrect. I'm getting.
Well, I just don't want it
to
sound crappy because I want it to be really great.
It sounds awesome. I'm really proud of you for this. I'm really pleased with how it came out. So I cannot wait to share it with America.
Oh, me neither. Let's just say,
which is to say that if you are listening,
this song, people.
Which is to say that if you are listening to this song in a country other than America, I'm sorry, in a country other than God's country, you will only hear an annoying static frequency, which is what you deserve for not being an American.
An
American,
clearly.
American. Anyway, so there's that.
Well, I was really excited to write it. I hope people like it.
Oh, pshaw, stop.
I had
Tell you
so
what,
much
if
fun
you guys,
writing it. I really did.
If you guys don't like it, then we want to know. All right? If you don't like the song, then let us know by making a one-time donation of exactly $66.06. Okay?
Hysterical.
Make a one-time donation of exactly $66.66. There we go. Or just a nice, well-rounded $666. And if we get enough of those, we'll get the message that like, oh, you didn't like this. And then we'll do more of them so you can continue telling us that you didn't. You see what I'm setting up here? There we go.
I like it. It's a really good idea. It's actually inspiring me to write bad parodies so we can make more money.
Don't forget to contact us through bigfatveganradio.com. And please become a member and support. It's God's work that we're doing. It's really God's work.
This episode has taken a very unusual theme.
And science's work. Look, y'all, Jesus Christ is your only hope for salvation.
Oh.
He's like...
I cannot. I cannot.
He's like your only hope. I mean, 3 words.
Can you imagine if somebody just
3
accidentally
words.
tuned in right there and they were like, what's happening?
Y'all, totally serious. 3 words. Lake of fire. Lake of fire. Think about it.
I want to say that I'm not endorsing this message in any way whatsoever.
There are people who really believe that.
I know. That's why it's not funny.
They're like, here's the thing. It's a lake of fire, and you'll spend eternity burning, but you'll never die. And I'm like, how?
But you're dead
How?
already.
So, like, your skin just melts off real slowly.
Well, no, your soul burns. You don't have skin.
Yeah, I don't know that my soul has nerve endings.
The logistics aren't that clear.
They're questionable at best. The logistics are questionable. You know what I have to say? We'll have to see. We'll have to see when we find out.
Well, if there is a hell, I'm pretty sure I'm going there. So
here's the thing: there's no hell, and if there is a hell, why would you not want to go there?
I don't know.
First off, if it's hot, think about how people are going to be dressing. All right, first of all. So you're going to see a lot
and everyone's a fornicator.
You're going to see a lot of skin, and there's going to be a lot of fornicators. And I also feel like there won't be like a curfew or rules in hell.
Also, I know it's like the murderers and stuff, but since you're already dead, you're pretty much safe.
You're like, yeah, do your worst. Do your worst. So there's that. And yeah. So
all right, this has been an odd episode, everyone.
You've been an odd episode.
We cannot go this long without recording ever again.
Ever again, because look what happens to us.
I know. Wait, we exploded.
Say again, this was an odd episode.
This was an odd episode.
That's exactly what my mom said about my last petit mal seizure.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. Why?
Because you were like, it's just not odd enough.
It's not odd enough.
I'm going to add to it.
P.S. You think this episode has been odd so far? I got nothing.
That's right. That worked.
Yeah.
It worked just fine.
Because you know why that worked. I was building
Oh gosh. All right. So we're done here. I'd like to thank Michael Herron, the Michael Herron, for composing our fantastic theme song and for being a friend. I'd also like to thank Kelly Huffine, who designed our characters and logo. You can check those guys out at michaelherron.com and Kelly42Fox at deviantart.com. That's right. And, of course, the one and only Madison Marie. The reason we look like we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, even though we're both at work.
And speaking of Twitter and Instagram, you can follow us as individuals.
I
am at Honey LaBronx. Laura is at Lara Yaz. I feel like I overpronounce things well enough that when I say Laura, you can hear the U. And when I say Lara,
you can hear the lack of the U.
It's a clear instruction for me to spell it Larayaz. And that's the last word I'll ever say on the matter. That is also all we've got for today for Big Fat Vegan Radio.
And just one last time, I'd like to interrupt this episode to again remind you that we now have merch available. Go to bigfatveganradio.com, click on merch, and there you can buy Big Fat Vegan Radio t-shirts in various sizes. You can also go to bigfatveganradio.com and click on support us, and you can find some posters in color and black and white that you can print out and have photocopied and cap them up all around. Does anyone say cap them up? Well, I say cap them up all around town, at your coffee shops, at your vegan restaurants, at the place where you buy your hacky sack, at the place where you buy whatever the products are that you use to clean out your dreadlocks, and, all those hippy-dippy places. Post posters about Big Fat Vegan Radio and help us spread the word. And just for doing that, we thank you so much in advance. And get a picture of yourself doing that, and get a picture of yourself wearing your t-shirt, and post it on our Facebook page, bigfatveganradio.com. While you are on the Support Us page at our website, you can make a one-time donation or sign up for a Big Fat Vegan membership and get some of our membership perks, which are listed there on the page. Remember, no matter what size donation you make, even if it's $1, you get access to the discount codes. But you could give a little bit more than $1 if you want. Oh, and while we're at it, in the merch store, we have now also got autographed photos of me and Laura from Big Fat Vegan Radio. So if you'd like, you can get one of those in the merch store too. Why did I not mention that earlier? Well, if you made it an hour and 40 minutes into the episode, now you know.
Please subscribe to us through iTunes or Stitcher or Swell is the new one that we're on. We're on all places. You can also find us on YouTube, etc. So and give us a rating and leave us an awesome review on iTunes, because it really helps bump us up in the ratings.
And it helps people find us when they're searching for vegan shows.
In your review, leave our theme song out of it. It is a precious, darling little theme song, and you should be so lucky.
Well, shame on whoever said that. Shame.
If
you can't tell how much we love Michael by listening to the show, you're just not listening.
I'm going back to my Christine Quinn protest days. I love that there were times in my life where as she stepped out of a car and walked into a building, I got to lead a crowd in chanting, "Shame! Shame! Shame!"
I know, it's kind of sad that's all that fun is gone.
Oh, she's old news.
She is somewhere alone
old
crying.
News. She is the announcement of the Wright brothers' flight at Kitty Hawk. Old news. Get it? Because that's old. It's news.
That is way old news.
Old.
It's a really good example.
Did you hear George Washington died?
Old news.
Yeah. It's still sad. I'll miss.
Did you hear that pictures are talking now?
The talkies?
The talking pictures.
Oh my God. What do they think of next?
Old news.
What will they think of next?
All right, everyone. Be sure to let us know what you thought of this episode, or maybe not, on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet or leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Ben.
Or maybe not.
Yeah,
Thank you, Laura. Oh, for the I think we're for the fundraiser.
What are you doing?
Don't we normally? We missed like a whole.
What did we miss? What the heck are you talking about?
Section.
We didn't miss anything.
The whole. I'll edit this out. The whole section where we normally. You know what I mean. Go vegan! Patient.
Pictures of cows, sheeps, and pigs on my Facebook, on my screen. A bevy of information. Can't pretend I haven't seen. My heart is yearning for a change to make this time. Can't keep fitting in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let it in, don't feel the pain. Act like you don't know how food is made. Conceal, don't feel like you don't know. Well, yes, I know. I can go, you can go. We all can go vegan. I can go, you can go. We all can go vegan. The jokes never bothered me anyway. It's awesome how some products make meat seem obsolete, and the fears of tasteless dinners are gone with Beyond Meat. I will see what Issa can do, test recipes and eat them too. No eggs, no cheese, no meat for me. I'm free. I can go, you can go. We all can go vegan. I can go, you can go. We all can go vegan. Comments made on my Instagram, they won't stop me my kitchen bubbles with the sounds of fresh cooked grains. The smells of spices fill the air and gently dust the ground. And one thought crisps up like the edge of fried tofu. I'm never going back. The meat and art are through. I can go, you can go, we all can go vegan. I can go, you can go, we all can go vegan. Here I stand with the power to change. I'm gonna share my truth. The jokes never bothered me anyway. Ben, I love your new short. Oh, Ben, I love your new. Sorry.
No, I need a clean edit. You need to stop. Hang on. And now, a word. And I can't. She's so red in the face.
I'm thinking else.
No, this is the commercial. This is it.
10
There is
billion
no
animals
stopping.
dying. 10 billion animals dying. 10 billion animals.
Don't you use those animals to change? That's not vegan. You're still using their deaths. Okay. Me me mamo moo. Many mumbling mice are living out their lives happily at North Star Rescue. Okay, there we go.
Ben, I love your new shirt.
Thanks. It's great, isn't it?
The design is so fabulous, and I love the message naturally.
Me too. It's from Compassion Co. They're an amazing company.
How so?
Oh, well, all the art is actually hand-drawn. It's all one of a kind. The shirts themselves, they're actually made from recycled organic material, and their entire production is sweatshop-free.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know, isn't it? Be sure to grab yourself an eco-friendly vegan message t-shirt today. Then maybe you can...
You skipped a line.
Oh, yeah. Well, you also didn't finish a line.
I
then
guess.
Maybe you can what?
I don't think that. I think that that's nothing.
Yeah. 1 second here. Let me just write this in the.
Oh my god, we're terrible actors.
You speak for yourself.
Oh wait. Oh, thank God you messed up that line because the discount's wrong. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And it says April. Hilarious. September.
First commercial.
Oh my god, first commercial. Train wreck. That should be your.
This is how my one-man show went, by the way. I literally finished writing it at 2 p.m. the day of.
Do you want to just redo the whole commercial? So you can just cut this shit out?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Let's go.
I literally finished writing my one-man show at 2 p.m. the day of.
I know, you
and
told
didn't
me
even have a
already.
chance. I didn't tell America. And I didn't have a chance.
We're cutting this out.
This is outtakes. This is how outtakes work.
This is solid gold, people.
This is solid. This is brilliant. So I'm just going to continue to pee on it with my Ed Harris style, Jackson Pollock self-directed. Oh, this is brilliant because it comes from me. P.S. I've never seen Pollock, but I'm basing that on someone else's review of how masturbatory the movie was. But yeah, I finished.
Pollock come out? You don't have a thing for Ed Harris.
I don't. He's hot though. Ed Harris. Oh. I finished writing my show at 2 p.m. the day of and didn't even have a chance to proofread it before hitting the stage. So that was scary. All right, I know it's hot where you are. It is freezing cold in my room until I turn off the AC for the purpose of recording, and I am going through the change. I'm going through the change. Hang on. Let me show you something.
Turn on the AC, dude.
I want to show you something. Hang on. I'm in my underwear, so I have to make sure I don't do this in a filthy manner. Hang on. Let me get to Skype so I can see my camera. I need you to see what is happening here in my life.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Why do you have a blanket on your lap?
What am I doing?
Change. It's change.
What am I doing though?
You're touching the change.
I'm
You're moving the change.
Okay, this is a throwback to a joke I just said.
I've got nothing, dude.
I'm going through the change.
You're going to.
That's hilarious. Top of my head.
Oh, you know that's my kind of
the
terrible
top
joke. I love that
of
nonsense.
The top of my head. I'm going through the change, girl. I'm going through it. Here's
that
a
is my
nickel.
kind of joke right there. I'm a little ashamed of how much I like that.
Here is a nickel. Here is a nickel.